This lecture is built on the research of Danny Kessler, an associate professor at Dongseo University and Korea's first PhD in wellness tourism. Consider two physical activities, a 30-minute power walk or 60 seconds of unstructured dancing in your bedroom. Which activates more neural pathways? Walking is excellent. It provides a highly reliable baseline for cardiovascular health and general mobility. But dancing triggers a distinct biological mechanism. It fires up a complex, multi-system neurological response that a steady-state walk simply bypasses. Yet as we transition from childhood into adult professional life, our relationship with movement shifts. We stop moving for the sake of movement. Look at this environment. We now demand that movement be productive. We schedule it as a functional task, measure it by the calories we burn, and optimize it for total efficiency. By forcing physical exertion to fit into a spreadsheet, we successfully engineered a predictable biological maintenance routine, and we engineered out the joy. This image shows a traditional social dance. For most of human history, physical exertion looked exactly like this, a communal, deeply social activity. Before complex spoken language dominated, coordinated physical expression served as a primary tool for group cohesion and direct communication. When a tribe faced environmental threats, synchronized group movement provided a literal physiological release valve, dissipating shared emotional stress across the community. Now, examine how we manage stress today. We wake up, put in headphones, block out the world, and run alone on a moving belt inside a silent room. Stripping the social elements from physical exertion alters how the brain processes the activity. It isolates the motor cortex from the emotional and social processing centers. When we replaced communal dance with isolated, hyper-efficient exercise, we dismantled an evolutionary mechanism designed specifically to regulate our emotions and connect us to each other. Dance triggers cognitive cross-training. It forces separate neurological systems to process information simultaneously. Unpredictable novelty prevents an automatic state. Rhythm synchronizes with motor commands. Balance forces complex physical coordination. Emotion dissipates psychological stress, and dopamine chemically reinforces the entire habit. Fifth is chemical reinforcement. This intense combination of simultaneous neural activations results in a massive release of dopamine. That dopamine creates a powerful positive feedback loop. It teaches your central nervous system to crave the activity, turning physical exertion into a self-reinforcing habit. Compare this dense, whole brain activation to the relatively low cognitive load of jogging on a flat surface at a steady pace. Dance functions as a unique cognitive load. It forces your neural pathways to solve physical, spatial, and emotional puzzles at the exact same time. South Korea provides a fascinating case study for how modern behavior contradicts this underlying biology. Look at this stage. Korea is a global powerhouse when it comes to producing and exporting highly synchronized, energetic dance culture. There is a massive infrastructure supporting this. Youth culture is driven by K-pop idols, rigorous dance academies, and competitive university clubs. Yet, despite this immense cultural foundation, the average Korean adult stops dancing. This drop-off is sharp and sudden. It typically aligns with university graduation and entry into the professional workforce. The environment seen here explains why. There is a systemic, overwhelming cultural demand to replace unstructured, joyful activities with strict, measurable, competitive productivity. Korea successfully exports joyful movement to millions abroad, but its own internal academic and professional pressures force its adults into physical stillness in the pursuit of pure efficiency. Now, look at this scene from Havana. When we broaden our perspective, a sharp contrast emerges. In many parts of the world, dance is never treated as a phase you age out of in your 20s. It remains an integrated, lifelong social behavior. The underlying neurobiology of the people in these different regions is identical. The behavioral gap is dictated by artificial cultural norms. We have collectively rewritten the definition of what a serious, productive adult is supposed to look like. When that rigid definition inevitably causes deep psychological stress, high-pressure societies turn to a commercial solution, the modern wellness industry. The market answers physical isolation by selling complex remedies. We are told to buy specialized daily supplements and book weeks at luxury meditation retreats. These marketed solutions stand in contrast to the zero-cost, immediate neurological effectiveness of simply moving your own body to music. We currently pay billions of dollars to wellness corporations, desperately trying to replicate the chemical balance that free communal dancing provides as a baseline feature of the human brain. But we need to apply intellectual rigor to how we process information about movement and health. You will frequently see sensational media headlines claiming that taking up dance massively reduces your risk of developing dementia. This diagram illustrates a fundamental scientific concept necessary to decode those claims: the difference between association and causation. Active dancers do frequently show lower rates of cognitive decline, but the physical act of dancing may not be the direct biological shield. People who dance often also maintain strong social networks and high baseline mobility. The neurological benefits of movement are proven and highly measurable, but true academic literacy requires us to separate exciting statistical correlations from absolute medical causation. We can extract a highly practical tool from this research. It is a concept called micro-wellness. The protocol is incredibly simple. It is a 1-minute, unstructured daily intervention, requiring nothing but a single song in your room. There are strict psychological rules to make this work. There is absolutely no external judgment allowed, and zero requirement for technical performance. You are not tracking your heart rate or counting the calories burned. You are executing a sharp, deliberate break in your brain's rigid, stressed autopilot. 60 seconds provides cognitive cross-training, taps into deep pathways for emotional connection, and rapidly restores a baseline of joy. Look at these questions. Examine why we feel inherent heavy guilt whenever we engage in movement that does not directly yield a productive, measurable result. Genuine wellness is not another demanding task to wedge into an already exhausted study schedule. Sometimes it is simply having the courage to spend 60 seconds moving for the pure joy of being alive.